Patrick Godfrey's life has truly been blessed. At 55 years of age, he has everything he ever dreamed of having, and with a loving and devoted wife at his side, his life is happy and complete.
I just love you most of all. I have a wonderful life. I have become the person I always wanted to become.
But things were not always like this for Patrick. In the late 1970s, at age 35, he saw a stormy marriage end in divorce. He became an alcoholic and nearly died from withdrawals.
I was in pretty bad shape. Alcoholism runs in my family, and I had become a victim of that disease. I was definitely in the dumps and didn't have any idea what the future looked like.
Patrick was physically, emotionally, and financially bankrupt. With no place to turn, he moved in with his mother.
One evening, I was sitting around with my mom going through old family photos and came across a picture of me and my childhood sweetheart, Marjorie Southworth. Marjorie and I met in the 7th grade, and we dated off and on throughout high school. And I was always very, very attracted to her. She was always the date for me. I just didn't know when I was 19 or 20 years old and feeling so strongly toward Marjorie, it just never occurred to me to ask her to marry me. I was overwhelmed with this feeling. Why couldn't I have married Marjorie in the first place? She was the only woman that I've ever loved.
Patrick felt a strong need to find Marjorie. He called every Southworth in the Los Angeles telephone directory, but none of the listings belonged to Marjorie. Then the very next day, Patrick chose a different route to work, and miraculously, his high school sweetheart came back into his life.
We were at the metered on-ramp, and I looked over to my right, and I said to myself, you know, that looks like Pat Godfrey. I honked the horn, and I took my glasses off, and he looked over at me, and he saw it was me.
I was in total shock. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was just totally blown away by this experience. And I remember starting to cry, and then I started to laugh at my good fortune.
I've never heard anybody figure the odds, but it had to be millions to one when you figure all the people on the freeway going to work. And I think it was sort of meant to be.
Patrick and Marjorie spent the next 6 months getting to know each other all over again. Then, hoping to correct a mistake he had made years before, Patrick asked for Marjorie's hand in marriage.
I told her that I wanted to spend my life with her. And she said, "What are you trying to say?" And I said, "I'm trying to say, will you marry me?" And she said that she would.
Today, Patrick and Marjorie have been married for 19 years and are still madly in love.
I love Marjorie very much. I do believe this is a miracle. And I believe it's a special gift. There's no explaining it.
Pat's and my getting back together, I feel, was divinely influenced, and most certainly a very special gift. I believe that it was put together by a higher power. In my heart, I know that's true.